Good morning, sports fans, and welcome to another edition of the First Family of Las Vegas' daily free winner show, brought to you by who? The best website on the planet, your one-stop sports betting shop, SportsMemo. Now, guys, we've got a great show. It may be Tuesday, but we've got an all-star panel today for you. God bless you. See, it's true. See, it's true. Let's bring on this good-looking cast. Let's go clockwise. Moneyline Matt, Jeff Michaels, Eric Pauly. Let's start with Matt. Matt, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. Hey, glad to be here as always. You know, I had my San Francisco 49ers yesterday. They came out, got it done, and it was kind of sweat-free for me.
Well, I'm glad you didn't sweat. I had the other side last night, and I will tell you, we'll talk about that in a minute later, Matt and I, during his segment.
Limit increase.
Matt, I'm glad to have you here again. You know, you were great yesterday. You're always great on the show. Let's go to our buddy. I didn't recognize him at first. He kind of looks like Fabio with the blonde hair. Hey, Jeff Michaels, good morning, buddy. How are you today?
Good. I'm glad to be back with the two of you. Glad you guys are feeling better. Wasn't around yesterday, but hey, I hit on that under, so I was sweating for a hot second, but outside of that, it was a fun game for me to watch too yesterday. So
speaking about hot, we love your new coif there. We love the blonde. You look good. Is it true blondes have more fun, Jeff? Tell us the truth.
Hey, if it's rubbing off any bit of Mr. Perfect on me, I'll take what I can get. 5-0 Saturday. So, hey, if the blonde brings in the winners, I'll keep it.
Hell, let me tell you right now, if I go 5-0 every Sunday, I'll put hair plugs in and dye it blonde. Don't worry about it. My good buddy, one of the sharpest guys in sports betting today, Eric Pauly. I'm glad to be back because I love sharing a panel with you, Eric. How are you today?
I'm doing very well. Glad to see that you guys are happy and healthy. I think I need to go blonde because I am off another tough week. Honestly, ruined by injuries because I had a player prop on Sunday that, the player got hurt in the first half, Javonte Williams. Not much you can do there, but, we still got a long grind going, so I'm not too concerned. Playoff baseball is here. Don't forget about that. So definitely looking forward to the rest of October and moving forward.
Eric, just to make you feel good, I get a lot of information early in the week. I deal with 7 or 8 of the biggest betting crews in the country, so I can predict line movements before they happen. I put out some games, and I have my games up on Thursday. I had 2 games of the month win on Saturday. My games of the month went 2-0. However, I did have Minnesota, and my pick on University of Minnesota was stringent upon Mohammed Ibrahim running amok. Then all of a sudden, I seen a little bit before game time, I couldn't pull the play down. A lot of people already bought it. I felt horrible. And I don't want to jinx myself because, guys, we've all been there where you go, oh, what the heck did I do? And maybe you go to second guess. You pull it down, it wins. You keep it up, it loses. I'm superstitious. But, Eric, I got to tell you, that injury, I was more pissed off about Mohammed Ibrahim not playing than I was happy about the 2 games a month winning. So I'm right there with you with some of those injuries and things. It's the business we're in. Fortunately, you and I, especially you're abreast of everything. You're one of the sharpest guys I've ever worked with on any panel. I've worked with them all. But it happens from time to time, even to the best of us. But I know you'll turn it around this week, and I'm happy to be here. Happy to have you here with us on Tuesday. Guys, excuse me, you know how I start every show. Good morning, darling.
Good morning. Happy Tuesday.
You look very cute for someone who's still a little under the weather.
Thank you.
We really battled through last week, and guys, I want to tell you, we have 3 young guys on the panel, and I'm not being condescending. It's just that you're young because Jeff keeps reminding me I'm more than twice his age. But I will tell you this. You'll always test your relationships when you go sick, when you get sick with your partner and you live in the same home. I'll tell you right now, it's like, you know what? There's 2 things that can test the relationship. When you put together something for you bought from friggin' IKEA, and I'm dead serious. I'm serious right now. If you ever put it together anything from IKEA, it's like reading stereo instructions from the 70s. It is horrible. And when you get sick together, because both Dion and myself were not very happy sick people, but we did manage.
We're 2 big babies, is what it is.
Yep. But we had each other to crutch on, and we had the 4 dogs, so that was good. So without any further ado, little bit of fluff this morning. Then I'm going to go right into some free winners, but we got some great discounts. Real quick, guys, this Friday, Dion and I are very excited. We were invited to. We have friends in Aerosmith. Steven Tyler and Joe Perry have been friends with. I know Steven since I'm about 8 or 9 years old. His father used to teach my sister piano, so that's how long we go back. But I know Joe and Steven. They invited us to the show last week, and we were busy because we had some events Friday and Saturday. And you know what? Then we got sick. Really, Saturday night was when Dion came home and boom. So he said, hey, can you get your butt over to – he actually said, can you get your ass over to the show? I said, Steven, can't. we got the COVID. He says, we were lucky because I heard a lot of the pit. And we heard from just recently from some friends that actually were in the pit, and they bring a lot of their promoters, and they bring people, they bring the good-looking people, guys like our panel and Dion and myself into the pit, and everybody got COVID this week. So he says, well, can you come the next stint at Park MGM? We said we'd be honored. But having said that, we're going to go see Tom Jones this Friday, and he's going to sing "What's New, Pussycat?" Whoa, we're excited about that. We're going to go to either Sinatra or SW Steakhouse at the Wynn. Two great places to eat. So we're looking forward to that. Thanks to our good friends over at the Wynn who love us, and we love you guys. Always a great night over there. Other than that, this upcoming weekend, next weekend, NASCAR phenom, one of our closest friends, Josh Williams. He's going to be coming to Las Vegas Motor Speedway, taking it by storm. And Josh is going to take the checkered flag. He's a good buddy of ours. I can't believe he gives me the pass that I can actually sit in the pit with the crew. I can't believe he let me jump in his car last year. I was driving around the track.
Yeah, but there was only one problem. You were going in the opposite direction.
That's not funny. I just wanted to see what would happen if I went the wrong way, And then all of a sudden, like, security jumps on the track. Guys, Joe D'Amico, you can't let that. But no, it's true, man. I backed up and I was doing a U-turn. Guys were flying up from every direction. You thought I was that guy at the game yesterday that ran on the field. Oh, yeah. Did you see it? Yeah, wow, man, he got nailed. But guys, we want to wish Josh good luck this week, man. We are looking forward to this. One more quick thing. Dion's got some announcements, and then we're going to go right into free plays for this week. Baseball, college, and pro football, you're going to get today on the show. We have some new features starting in the next few days here, and some new guests, never before seen guests on any of the SportsMemo TV shows. So we're looking forward to that, guys. Stay tuned for that every day. You're not going to want to miss any of our exciting new additions. Before we give out our free winners for today, the floor is open. We are live, so comment or questions for our great panel. Matt, Jeff, and Eric are three of the sharpest minds in sports betting today. Fire away. They don't matter. At the end of the show, Eric is going to stick around. Jeff will stick around. Matt is going to stick around. If you have a question for one of them, we'll try to get it on the air. We'll try to get as many as we can. But I know that Eric and some of the other guys have other shows today. They may have to run. But having said all that, Dion's got some discounts. Take it away, Dion.
Yeah, today is $2 Tuesday over at SportsMemo. That's right. 3 cappers, Rocky Atkinson, Teddy Covers, and the Gold Sheet. $2 a piece, or you can get all 3 for just the low price of $5. That is an amazing deal.
3 documented winning cappers, by the way. Rocky, a good friend of mine for many years.
Teddy
Covers.
And the Gold Sheet.
Teddy and I did more radio. We were just, I just hit him up the other day. We did something like 12 years ago together.
Wow.
Yeah. He had dark hair and I had a lot of hair. And now he's gray and I have none. So that just goes to show you what this business will do. And my good buddy, Bruce Marshall, over at the Gold Sheet and the crew over there. The most respected publication in sports betting. By the way, go to Gold Sheet. www.goldsheet.com. Great stuff. But 3 great cappers. Also, Dion, what else?
Yeah, we have a new special going on this week that started yesterday. Any package, $25 or more, you can get $10 off. All you have to do is use code MEMO10 upon checkout. And also, don't forget, after the show, head on over to the deals page on SportsMemo. Some of your favorite handicappers have some amazing deals going on right now.
Guys, it doesn't get any better than the customer appreciation you receive over at SportsMemo after the show. Matt, Jeff, Eric, Dion, and myself. We got some great discounts over there. And if we're not your cup of tea, I'm sure someone over at SportsMemo is tailor-made just for you. Go over to SportsMemo. Take advantage of those customer appreciation discounts. They are unrivaled. We know that saving you money is just as good as making money. Having said that, let's get right into some free plays for today. We're going to go to the First Lady of Las Vegas, who in our first show back yesterday gave you another free game winner. Guys, the last 3 months, her free plays on all the shows are hitting well over 80-some-odd%. That's documented, by the way, because we can't lie to you. Well, by the way, we wouldn't, but we can't because It's right here. Just archive it. Dion's going to tell you what she's got going on, what she's excited about the next few days, and she's got a free play winner for you. Dion, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Well, guys, I got up at 2 a.m. this morning, looked at today's pitching matchups in the baseball card, and I really couldn't find anything to put out on the premium side today, so I am passing. I did get everyone paid yesterday in my free play, as Joey did mention, on the Phillies. And to be quite honest, my free plays have been streaking the last few months. And I have another free winner for you today in Game 2 of the Phillies-Astros Interleague matchup. I talked about this matchup on yesterday's First Family Show. As I said on Monday, the Phillies only needed to win one win to clinch the NL wild card spot. And they did just that, guys, with a 3-0 victory to earn their first postseason berth since 2011. They currently possess the third NL wildcard spot with just 2 games remaining in the regular season. However, Milwaukee is 2 games behind them and San Diego just 1 game in front of them. Not only do they have to get a victory to maintain their wildcard status, they also have an opportunity to actually leapfrog the Padres. As you all know, the Astros own the best record in the AL and have home field through the all AL playoffs. They do not need the victory here today. Philadelphia does. The Phillies, they come in here a little hotter, winning 4 of their last 5, while Houston has split their last 10. Ranger Suarez and Justin Verlander are scheduled today. Suarez, he has been money on the road this season, going 6-2 with a 2.69 ERA away from home. While you can't argue with any of Verlander's stats, whether it's away, home, the last 3, or overall, he is once again not competing for a Cy Young. He is the favorite right now. I feel the team is going to keep him in there for several things just to keep him warm going into the postseason. But once again, this team does not need the victory, and Philly does. Let's not forget, the Phillies are 4-1 the last 5 on the road, 5-2 the last 7 versus the AL West, and 4-1 the last 5 overall. I think there is a huge amount of value here getting this price with Philadelphia, so I'm going to go ahead and take the Phillies again today.
First Lady of Las Vegas, killing it on our free plays. And by the way, Dion, I love your integrity. By the way, she says take the Phillies today. Take them to the bank, guys. I love your integrity that you pass. You know, when a capper passes, guys, it's just as important as and tells you a lot about the capper, just as if they are putting out a big game. And I love the integrity. You're not in it just to get sales. You're here to give people winners. And I love that about you. I always felt it's always about the quality and not the quantity.
I'd rather pass for the day and come back tomorrow with a strong, something strong to give you.
And I love that about you. And that tells you the type of integrity you get from the cappers over at SportsMemo. Guys, we're not here just to put games on the shelf and get burned. We're here to make you money. We take a lot of pride in putting out, and the fact that you guys out there put your hard-earned money in our plays, and Matt, Jeff, Eric, Dion, and myself's plays. We take a lot of pride in that, and that's why the Johnny D and the great powers that be at SportsMemo, they put together this group of cappers intentionally. They handpicked us because of our integrity, just because we win, but because of our integrity in our class. And I'll tell you what, you're not going to find that integrity anywhere else on the planet but SportsMemo. Good stuff, Dan. And by the way, we're both coughing. Deal with us, guys. I got to tell you, it's like being in a sick ward. I'll tell you that. But she is damn cute for a sick person. Guys, we're going to go to my friend Eric Pauly, who, once again, talk about integrity. He is one of the sharpest minds in sports betting today. And I do know that, he showed you some integrity. He says not a great weekend. But I know that knowing Eric and knowing how good he is at picking winners, that he'll turn it around this week. He's got another free winner for you today coming up on a game in the next few days. But he's got some things he'd like to tell you about and how he's going to turn it around this week. Eric Pauly, it's all you, buddy. Take it away.
Yeah, so I appreciate that, Joe. And something to consider when handicapping, and not just football, college football, any sport, is realistically, like, over the course of the long term, your process is more important than the results of that weekend, right? So weeks 1 through 3, I was actually very proud of my process. Had a fantastic week 1, not so great week 2 and week 3. But last week, I thought my process was a little bit flawed, so I need to improve upon that moving forward. But while we can, of course, talk about the gridiron, all day long, I'm still interested in Major League Baseball. In the month of September, I was 10-5 in my MLB plays for plus 10 units, so I had another killer month to end the baseball season. Of course, we have playoffs coming up. And like Dion said, there is not a ton of value out there on the board currently, considering the fact that, one, it seems a little bit like odds makers have kind of, shifted their focus away from baseball. And 2, these games are more or less meaningless, right? All of the AL and NL teams are set. There is some seeding still to be figured out today and tomorrow, which of course will happen as these games go by, but it's not it's too tough to be picking, winners at the end of the season, right? One of the teams that need to win a baseball game today or tomorrow to clinch a division, the Atlanta Braves, the AL East, they're in Miami tonight facing the Marlins, and they lost to the Marlins last night 4-0. And while you could think maybe this is a great bounce back spot for the Braves to come and get a W, I think the Marlins, while they could, are going to actually make this game a lot more difficult than it seems to be. Miami, they eliminated the Brewers from the playoffs. I mean, that Brewers needed to beat Miami, and the Marlins were relentless and took down Milwaukee, showing that Miami is not trying to go out lightly. They had a disappointing season, and while even if they beat the Braves, they will be helping the Mets. Either way, Miami wants to make this more difficult. You have Jake Odorizzi going for the Braves tonight in Miami. He's 5-6 this season with a 4.32 FIP. And on the road this year, he's been a lot worse. His ERA is a 4.86, 2.81 batting average against, 4.40 FIP, and a 1.44 WHIP. On the other side, you got Braxton Garrett going for Miami, who was impressive in his one start against the Braves this year. He allowed no runs on 5 hits in 6 innings. On the season, he's 3-6 with a 3.56 ERA, a 3.57 FIP. And when he's pitching at home, his batting average against is a 2.25. His FIP drops to a 3.22, and his ERA goes down as well to a 2.48. Now, facing a lefty is tough for any team. The Braves are one of the best at it, though. But considering this matchup and the Braves already did the hard part, sweeping the Mets. Now it's to get to that peak of the mountain and actually win one more game to take over the NL East. I think while they can do it, Miami's going to make it difficult. So I'm rolling with the Marlins on the run line tonight.
Sports fans, Eric Pauly says the Marlins on the run line. And I got to tell you, the betting insights you get overall from the cappers over at SportsMemo is unrivaled. But Eric, every time he's up, I share a panel with him. He just amazes me. Eric, your betting insights, I've worked with everybody in the industry, and your angles and insights as good or better than anybody I've ever worked with. I'm honored to share a panel with you. And guys, after the show, go follow Eric. We got some great customer appreciation discounts at SportsMemo. Go follow Eric, because I promise you, you're going to follow him to the bank. I love him. Eric's going to stick around for a little bit. So if you have a question for Eric, pick his brain, man. I got to tell you, pick his brain. And I agree with you, Eric. I think today's baseball card was uglier than Lenny Dykstra's SAT scores. And you got to see those. You guys all know Lenny Dykstra. Really quick off the cuff, I had somebody tell me that he was like the smartest guy in business like 20 years ago. I got to meet him here in Vegas at a seminar. It took this guy like an hour and a half to watch 60 Minutes. He couldn't spell IQ. And I'm going, this guy's a genius. Then the next thing you know, he was like $50-something million in business that year. I'm like, holy shnikes. This guy, I just want to see his SAT scores because he couldn't put together a coherent sentence. And it wasn't that he was like under the influence. He was just dumb. I'm telling you, this guy couldn't spell IQ. So, guys, having said that, I think I agree with you today. Eric. I thought it was a tough card. Let's go to someone who I really enjoy sharing a panel with. I share a couple of panels. I share football panels, but I get to share this week after a small hiatus again, because we had COVID last week, the Family Affair show on Friday, which is the most popular news show here on the SportsMemo TV brand. I get to share a panel with Dion, Jeff, and his dad, Ralph. It's no longer Ralph and his son, Jeff. It's Jeff and his dad, Ralph, because Jeff's popularity is skyrocketing because he is winning. He is killing it. Jeff, I do like the blonde hair. I just pisses me off that you guys with hair, what you do to it. It pisses me off. Thanks a lot, Jeff. I appreciate you rubbing it in again. Guys, I love Jeff, and I know you do too, because he's making you money all over the gridiron. He's going to tell you a few things he's excited about coming up. He's going to tell you what he did the other day or over the weekend, and he's got another free winner for you. Jeff, the floor is yours.
Thanks, Joe. Yeah, I appreciate it, guys. I'm going to echo a little bit to what the other two said. Tough baseball card, but I'm excited, looking forward to the postseason. We've been on a good baseball run, but I actually passed today for the first time in a long while. So I followed Dion's idea today, going with that being a difficult card, but that definitely doesn't mean that we take a day off, guys. We're looking forward to the postseason. We're looking forward to college football this weekend. We had a pretty good week in the football card this past weekend. We had a 5-0 Saturday in college and ended 8-2-1 on the weekend with the NFL. But 9-2-1 with a win last night actually as well. But for my play today, guys, I'm sticking on the gridiron, and I'm looking at this Wednesday action that's now been rescheduled a time or two. But I'm looking at SMU to cover this spread against UCF. You know, you look at the history between these two teams. The home team has actually covered the last 8 years, but I'm going to fade that trend, seeing as these two teams aren't teams that play every season. They're not conference opponents. They've only played 3 times in the last 7 years. And it just goes to show you that 5 out of those 6 meetings, SMU was a double-digit underdog. That was 5 straight years up until their meeting last year where they actually ended up being a favorite. But I've been looking at the teams that these two teams have played this season. And SMU comes in, they've played 2 top 50 scoring defenses in Maryland and TCU. Their offense put up the most yards that those 2 defenses had allowed this season. And they combined for 61 points in those 2 games, even though they fell short. They're putting up 146 yards per game above what the opposition is allowing, which has resulted in 450 plus yards in all 4 games this season. And their defense is holding teams 65 yards under what they average on the year as well. So not quite as big of a number as what you see on the offensive side, but definitely big enough to make a difference. And this UCF team has struggled in their 2 hardest games of the year. They played Louisville and they played Georgia Tech. And I mean, through the first 2 weeks of the season, Georgia Tech was arguably the worst team in the nation. They turned things around a little bit, but UCF still couldn't pull it together to get that win. And I don't see them. I feel like this line's too low. I'd put it maybe closer to what it was last year when SMU was a 7-point favorite. So I'm putting this line at 5.5, maybe even 6. So taking it at 3, I'm jumping on it, especially thinking about that. Unfortunately, what the weather and the hurricane may have done to that UCF area, their mind may be in other places as well this weekend. And unfortunately, in the betting world, that's something that we may have to take advantage of tomorrow. So I'm going with SMU -3 in this one.
Great stuff from our buddy Jeff Michaels. He says SMU, great betting angles, guys. It just amazes me how sharp this panel is. Eric and Jeff and Matt and Dion and myself. I got to tell you, this is amazing betting insights from Jeff Michaels, who actually is coming off, who is coming off another great run over the weekend. Jeff, guys, go follow him over at SportsMemo after the show. Watch the rest of the show. We still got Matt and Joe D'Amico that's going to give you some free plays. We've got some questions, and we'll answer some questions if we can at the end of the show. But, guys, Jeff is a winner. Go over to SportsMemo. Take advantage of those customer appreciation discounts. You're going to follow Jeff all the way to the bank. Now, guys, I got to tell you, we go from one sharp mind to another. Now, Eric Pauly, he's got the brains. Jeff has got the blonde locks. This guy's got the smile. I got to tell you, I am proud to be on a panel with such great cappers, great analysts. Moneyline Matt was on the show yesterday, and we're going to keep on getting him on as often as we could get him on, And by the way, Moneyline Matt, I told you yesterday, this is like the mob. Once you're in, you can't leave, buddy. We ain't letting you go. And we ain't letting Eric go. We ain't letting Jeff go. Listen,
hey, I'm here to stay.
Listen, we got to get your hands dirty. We got to kill some people in front of you just to make you witness, because we ain't letting you guys go. We love you guys. Guys, Moneyline Matt gave another free winner. I think he's near perfect on this show since he started doing the first family show.
I went back and looked.
He's doing great work, and his betting insights are really amazing. And I said it before, I said it again. You can take Eric, Jeff, and Matt's ages, add them up, and you probably get around my age. And it just amazes me how sharp these guys are for their age. I'm not condescending. I said this to Matt. I'm not being condescending. But their minds are way, way past their ears. And I got to tell you, having them give you these free plays are amazing. So Eric, Jeff, and Matt just doing great work. Matt, another free winner yesterday. He's going to give you another free NFL winner. He's going to tell you maybe what he's excited about looking at ahead in the future over the weekend. Matt, the floor is yours.
Yeah, thanks as always, Joe. And to your guys' point, after that 49ers win yesterday, I actually went back and looked. And Garrick, I saw your comment. Shout out the Niners, baby. I appreciate you riding. But on the show, I didn't see week 1, but we have not lost, I know for sure, since week 2, Eagles versus Vikings. So that's 5 in a row. And we're going to try and keep it rolling today. And I'm going with the Colts. The Colts plus 3.5, going on the road to face off against the Denver Broncos. And for me, a lot of this does come down to just the Denver Broncos. And do I feel like this Denver Broncos team can cover a 3.5-point spread? And I really don't. They've struggled in numerous ways on offense. Yeah, their defense has been pretty stout. But when you look at head coach Nathaniel Hackett, he has not put together a good game the entire season just yet. They've won a couple games that they maybe should have lost. They won 11-10 against the San Francisco 49ers. So they're just scraping these games out. And now they're facing an Indianapolis Colts team that is 1-2-1. Yes, they have some serious injuries. Jonathan Taylor might be out. Shaq Leonard, Tyquan Lewis. So some more serious injuries on the defensive side of the ball, and of course the offensive side with Jonathan Taylor. But at the end of the day, I love playing those teams in a bounce back spot, teams with their back against the wall who desperately need a win. And that's exactly what the Indianapolis Colts need here. When you look at the Denver Broncos, they're in a similar scenario. They just lost to the Las Vegas Raiders, and I believe it was 32-23. So again, they need this game as well. But when you have two teams like that who are going to be going at it, they both desperately need this win. It tends to end up in a closer style football game. Now, when you look at both teams' defenses in addition to that, it's tough for me to see this game getting out of hand either way. You know, in terms of receiving yards per game, the Broncos give up around 192 per game, and the Colts give up 221. Two better passing defenses throughout the NFL. In terms of rushing defense, the Broncos give up around 115 per game, and the Colts 92. Again, two of the better defenses throughout the NFL. So once again, when I look at these two teams, it's tough for me to see this getting out of hand. Both offenses have struggled in numerous ways. When you look at the Colts, if you lock down Michael Pittman Jr., they're going to struggle passing the football. With the Denver Broncos, if you get pressure on Russell Wilson or you primarily look at Cortland Sutton, they're going to struggle as well. So because of that, I'm going to lean with the Colts here at plus 3.5. Also, when looking at this over-under, it's at 43.5. I think that's a little high for this football game. I'd be surprised if that didn't go down a little bit. And then also when looking at this Colts plus 3.5, I'd be surprised if that doesn't go down a little bit too, get closer to 3. So I try and take this hook while you still have a chance. Take the Colts plus 3.5.
Sports fans, Moneyline Matt, NFL is his game. I'll tell you that. He's his Colts plus 3.5. Let me make a preemptive strike here, Matt. You mentioned something about possibly this line going down to 3. If it goes down to 3, do our viewers out there still play it at plus 3, or do they buy it back up to 3.5?
So I'm the type that I buy it back to 3.5. I feel more comfortable with a hook personally. This is one of those games that definitely has a field goal difference kind of feel to it. So, I mean, the way that I do things, I love to have that hook. That hook does change a lot for me. So that's why I'm kind of saying take it now if you want it at the 3.5, because I do think it'll go down to 3. If it's at that 3, I'm personally going to buy that hook.
All right, sports fans, the betting insights, the knowledge, and I got to tell you, man, he's just off the charts. Moneyline Matt.
I'm a hook guy. I got to have the hook. I'll buy it. I don't care.
That's great stuff. And, the betting insights, sports fans, you're getting into the great betting minds of guys like Eric, Jeff, and Matt. Matt, great stuff, guys, after the show. Very excited he is about some things happening this weekend. Go get one of those 3, the 7, even the 30-day package from Matt. It'll pay for itself in no time. You'll come back for a longer stay. He's a winner, guys.
Yeah.
Guys, get ready. What?
Oh, I was just going to say, yesterday I watched the early line report by Teddy Covers and Drew Martin. A lot of lines that I like early. This is a little different. I'm not always ready to pounce on some lines. There was like 5 or 6 that I saw yesterday that I felt pretty good about.
There you go. Anything that you want to throw out to the people right now, Matt? A little bonus, kiddo?
Nothing right now. I just know I was looking over it yesterday, and there was a couple that kind of popped out to me a little bit. Like I was looking at the Jags-Texans, that's 7-point game there. I'm liking kind of what the Texans are doing. So nothing official just yet, but I am liking some early.
Thanks. Great stuff from Moneyline Matt. Like I said, go over to SportsMemo after the show. Follow Matt with some of those great customer appreciation discounts. You'll follow him to the bank. Time to adjust the volumes, guys, because I'm ready to go. My voice isn't back at 100%, but that doesn't mean I won't give you a headache because I'm excited this morning. My friends, I'm not here to give you action. I'm here to give you winners. Having said that, I did pass today because I think the baseball card is a little tough today. And I mentioned this the last few days and even a few weeks ago. The last few weeks of the regular season is a lot like the last few weeks of the NFL regular season. I try to stick with teams that need games and whatnot. But as far as premium side, I passed today. Not here to give you action. I'm here to give you winners. However, I'm not going to leave you flat. I have a free play for you in just a moment. And I will have some early football plays up for the weekend. Just like Moneyline Matt just said, there's a few things that caught his eye. There's a few things that caught my eye. I'm going to have a couple of early info plays released this evening, Tuesday night, between Wednesday and Sunday. I'm going to tell you that. A couple that you can take advantage before the lines move. So be sure to check out my page over at SportsMemo later on this evening. As far as my free play, adjust those volumes, guys. Oh, my goodness gracious. All right, this time of the year in MLB, I try to stick with solid teams that still need wins to better their postseason situation. The Tampa Bay Rays are one such team. They currently own the 3rd wildcard spot in the AL. However, Seattle sits just 1.5 games ahead of them with just 2 games remaining in the regular season. And anything can happen on the last few days of the season. As we all very well know, folks, the Rays are a good team and have played solid baseball for most of the campaign. But going into the playoffs, losing does a lot to a team mentally. Right now, they've lost 3 in a row, including game 1 of the series with the Red Sox. If they're going to go into the playoffs with any momentum, they need to get a couple of victories. When? Right now. Prior to yesterday's loss, they took 7 of the last 9 meetings with their division rival this season. And I really do like the pitching matchups here. Jeffrey Springs gets the road start. Nathan Eovaldi takes the hill at home. Springs, 9-4 with a 2.45 ERA overall. Over his last 3 turns, 1-0 with a 2.70. Going 16.7 strong innings and striking out 17 batters in those 16.7 innings. That means a lot to me, especially against this Red Sox team that are swinging for fences right now to try. I'm telling you right now, I expect a lot of strikeouts here. And the team has won 5 of his last 6 outings. Eovaldi, 5-3 record on the season, 4.05 ERA over his last 3 performances, 0-0, 3.78. Not bad numbers, guys. However, his numbers, you know what they do when he's at Fenway? They skyrocket. They soar. This season at home, he's 1-3 with a whopping ERA of 5.83. And to be quite honest, he gives up a lot of runs. 5 of his last 7 appearances, he's given up a ton of runs. Check it out, guys. The team is 19-39 the last 58 versus teams with a winning record. 21-46 the last 67 versus the AL East, and 4-9 the last 13 overall. I really think there's a good opportunity for Tampa Bay to go into the playoffs with a little momentum. They've got to do it today. I'll tell you right now, take the Rays minus $1.20. I think the line is good. Let's bring on this cast. We got a bunch of comments, guys. Let me see real quick. For Matt, just everybody, Raven Ron, who we love, he says the 49ers cashed. Dion, who had the Marlins today? Eric had the Marlins, that good-looking son of a gun.
Go, Ron.
Gotta love Raven Ron. You know, he tunes in every day. We love you, Ron. And by the way, Raven Ron, again, man, he's got the trifecta today. He's running with Matt. And Tate. You gotta love this stuff.
And he's taking your.
Gotta love this stuff.
He's taking your.
That's what I like, Tampa Bay. Last night it was -8 though, so I think this line's gonna start.
So get in now before it probably flies for 9. Well, take the New York Yankees and New York Mets in all 4 games, 2 doubleheader sweeps for New York. There you go, Joe. Roger, thank you for that, guys. You know, I'm always going to root for my New York teams because I'm a New Yorker. Vegas is my home for 32 years. All right, Dion, Are you concerned with the Philly hangover? A woman of few words. Obviously, when you were Joe D'Amico for 22 years, I sucked the air out of the room. So you're not worried about it. You're still going to ride with Philly.
I'm still riding Philly.
Still riding Philly. And by the way, somebody said something about my hat today.
They did. It was.
I like it.
My friend Garrett. Thanks, Garrett. I love you. By the way, guys, I don't know if Matt. Hey, Eric, somebody said something. I said something about because I had the Nationals yesterday on the show. Did the game? The game didn't go. So somebody said, and I said something about the Yankees that they're playing, and I do expect them to have a good performance. The only team I'm scared of in the postseason, as a Yankee fan, is the Astros. I think the Yankees match up well with the National League representatives. So somebody said I was on drugs yesterday. And I love that. I love that. He actually was a little more specific. So thank you for that. Yeah. He's a little more. He called me an old timer, guys. And I'll tell you what. I've seen guys. They've been throwing guys at me for 20 years in this business, and I've seen guys come and go. I'm still here. I may have lost my hair, but I'm still here. I'm still winning for everybody out there. Let's get some announcements going. Let's get some closing thoughts and comments. You know what? Before we get some announcements going, let's get some closing thoughts and comments. Let's go to Eric Pauly first. Eric, closing thoughts and comments for our viewers out there, please.
No, I think Matt made a fantastic point that looking forward now, especially that us and odds makers have 4 weeks of NFL data. I'm always a proponent of betting early, but I think it's even more crucial now because the NFL being the most efficient betting market there is, that as their numbers get sharper, there is going to be less movement. So especially if you are playing at a little bit of a smaller bankroll, there is less harm than trying to get your numbers immediately. Then there's more harm and there's a lot more harm waiting until Sunday. So do what Matt said. I completely agree. If you have a number that you're liking now, take that bet now. Do not wait, because if it's gone, it's gone. If you end up getting on the wrong side of the movement, it's a lesson learned, but take those numbers you like.
Great betting insights, Eric. Eric, you know, I always preach to people, you know, sports betting is a living, breathing thing, and it changes by the minute, let alone by the hour, by the day. And what you really need to be is you need to be intelligent And you need to know when to be patient and wait a line out. You need to know when to be aggressive. That's the tough part. Guys, it's like dating, man. It's like a relationship. You need to know when to open your mouth. You need to know when to shut up. And it's the same thing with
I didn't say anything.
all right, I didn't think you did. Anyway, see, I'm the boss. Anyway, but it's the same thing with sports betting. You need to know when to be patient. You need to know when to act fast. You need to know. Now, Moneyline Matt, to give you some good betting insights, he likes to buy that hook. But honestly, and I'm sure Matt would agree, you can't buy a hook every time you want to, because if you lose a couple of those hooks, those pennies start to add up at the end of the season. So you've got to, once again, do your due diligence, know when to buy, know when to be patient. Great stuff. Let me do, you know what? Let's go to Jeff Michaels. Jeff, any closing thoughts or comments for our crew out there, for our viewers?
Yeah, I was just going to say, you guys just said how everything changes, and now we got a New York Mets team that might not get 100 wins on the season. So even more that I'm, we're always pulling for the guys on the panel when rooting for their wins, but I'm really pulling for Eric's tonight because I want to see an exciting matchup in that NL East game in a showdown tomorrow to see what happens into this postseason. So while everybody's excited about NFL, myself included, I've always been a baseball guy. There's a little bit of action left in this regular season. So I'll have my eyes glued to the baseball screen for today and tomorrow and taking a peek at this college football game going. But couple days left to make some money on the diamond too in the regular season.
There you go. Great stuff from Jeff Michaels, and looking forward to sharing a couple of different panels with Jeff by the end of the week. By the way, Eric, your good buddy Raven Ron, he loves you. He said, yeah, Eric's right. He's got to get all of his bets today and tomorrow. We love you. We love you. We love you. Shout out to Jeff, winner on Arizona on Sunday. I guess people are fun. See, guys, I got to tell you, man, we love you guys that tune in, and without you, we wouldn't be here. And we appreciate you. What's that?
Great comments today.
Great comments. We got a lot of them, but shout out to Jeff. And we appreciate you, Garrick, because Garrick knows what you had on Sunday. He's following you. You got any comments for Garrick?
Yeah, absolutely. And Garrick will know this then, that Rogers comment ties in perfectly with that win on Arizona on Sunday. It ended up being a teaser. And hey, as much as I agree with exactly what Matt said about the game on Thursday, the teaser got me the win on Denver at least. So a Denver-Arizona money to be made in more ways than one, even if you don't go with that straight line.
Speaking of the teaser, Roger Long.
Yep.
Long. Hi, Roger. Thank you for tuning in. When the numbers get sharper, the teaser hit at an even higher rate. You're right, Roger. Good timing there, Jeff. By the way, I want to throw this to Matt, because Matt is definitely a Michigan. He's a Michigan fan of everything Michigan. Yeah, Jeff is laughing already. I'm
ready to hear this one.
I'm not going to give this one to you, Jeff. You're an Ohio State fan.
A lot of
I missed out on a half a point this past week on Ohio State. Bet early. What do you got to say about that, Matt?
Hey, if it's Michigan, Ohio State, I still like Michigan again this year. I'll tell you that right now. That's why you will never see a Michigan bet by me on the show, on SportsMemo, nothing. I'm way too biased on it. That team has my heart. I had season tickets since I was a little kid. I just leave Michigan alone every week.
There you go. You know what? Maybe we get a bet between you and Jeff Michaels. I know Jesse School is tuning in, and he's off to one of the best starts I've ever seen for any football campaign. But Jesse, I think we'd all admit I whooped your ass all season long, Jesse School. I love you. But I whooped you with our Yankees Blue Jays bet. Jesse's going to take me to dinner. Guys, I'm going to tell you right now.
We should have a little
Matt, I was going to say, Matt, it sounds like a date on that Friday last week of the regular season. Thursday, Friday out here right before that game. Sounds like we'll have a fun little discussion.
I'm down to bet. I think J.J. McCarthy's a real deal, baby. He's a dual threat quarterback. He's looking sharp out there.
I won't open my mouth until I see a line.
If Jeff wins, Moneyline Matt's got to dye his hair red. That's all I'm saying. All right, let me take this. We got a couple announcements. I got to get us out of here because my buddy Eric, he's pulling double and triple duty today. Later today, the MLB show, new scheduling for the full count show, stringent upon the postseason schedule. So be sure to check in with us. We're going to put out some announcements each week about what's happening with the MLB show and when those shows will air. Okay, and our good buddy Dan Alexander, the Sports Memo Today show, Tuesdays and Thursdays. We love you, Dan. You're doing a great job. Keep it up. Thursday, we have the College Football Forecast show. Friday, the Family Affair show. Ralph and Jeff Michaels join Joe and Dionne D'Amico. And, of course, every weekday morning, this show, the First Family of Las Vegas show. Wake up with the First Family every morning during the week and be on the lookout for our new features and brand new guests. Tune into SportsMemo TV for the best betting insights and more free winners than naked pictures of Antonio Brown. I'm sorry, I couldn't help myself. Subscribe to SportsMemo TV and don't miss any of our amazing content. Dion's going to tell you about some discounts. We're going to run down the plays. We're going to get out of here, all right?
And don't forget, today is $2 Tuesday over at SportsMemo. That's right. Rocky Atkinson, Teddy Covers, and the Gold Sheet. $2 a piece, or you can get all three for just a low price of $5. And we also have a new discount that started yesterday. Any package $25 or more, you can get $10 off. All you have to do is use code MEMO10 upon checkout. And also don't forget to head on over to the deals page over at SportsMemo and check out all of the amazing deals that are going on for some of your amazing cappers right now.
Okay, let's run them down. Dan, what'd you have for everybody today?
I am going with the Phillies once again.
Our good buddy Eric Pauly.
Miami on the run line.
God, he's got a good smile. He rivals Mac's smile, I'm telling you now. Let's go to Jeff. Jeff, what'd you have for everybody?
I got SMU tomorrow night -3.
Moneyline Matt, show us those pearly whites. What do you got?
Hey, I got the Colts plus 3.5 to stay perfect.
I love it. And your sexy and savory host is the Rays today, -$1.20. Dion has one small thing, then we're going to head on out of here because I know you guys are tired of my voice.
Don't forget to head on over to Twitter and follow all of the amazing cappers that are on the First Family Show. You can find Matt over at Moneyline__Matt. Jeff Michaels over at JM Sports CLE. You can find Eric over at Slime Action. You can find myself over at the First Lady of Vegas and Joe over at Joe D'Amico Wins. And don't forget to tune in the rest of this week for some more free winners and a ton of special guests. And on behalf of Matt, Jeff, Eric, and us, this is the First Family of Vegas.
Everyone out there, good luck and have a winning day.